introduce the charming Miss Mead. I wish you success. Look, I trust I'm not being too presumptuous to call at such a late hour. You are my only neighbor while I am here at Carfax. And Miss Mina's illness, why, it concerns me greatly.
I appreciate that, Count.
You two are a stranger to these lands, Count.
Well, that was obvious.
Yes, Professor. I am on a visit to this great country. Why, it is so unlike my home in Transylvania. It affords me great opportunity for my investigation.
Investigation, you say, Count? I really must say you should have investigated a little harder before letting Johnny here mention that ruin of an abbey.
Carfax is not a ruin, Mr. Appleby. It is true, some of the walls are crumbling, and the dust is deep. But when the dogs bark at night, it brings me back to my own castle, Dracula.
It sounds more like war than dogs.
This is true, my friend. Though I doubt you will find wolves in this area, but enough of wolves and castles and nonsense. And talk, Mr. Hobbs, my only concern is the well-being of Miss Mila. I know that you wish to consult with the learned professor, but perhaps there is something more that I can offer to her. Until then, I shall wait in your life. Perhaps read a book on wolves and castles. And that way, when you need me, I will be available. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. It was a lot.
Very gracious of the Count. Now, Professor, please, tell us what you think is wrong with me.
That Renfield is a most interesting study.
Renfield? What does Renfield have to do with this?
Oh, maybe nothing, maybe everything. But there is something mysterious and unnatural about dear Miss Renfield, and it may have some bearing on my suspicions.
We're talking about an innocent girl, not some fanciful tale of the occult.
A cult! Come, Harper, you must remember that although science has opened new horizons, vast new fields of study, there are still many old and ancient phenomena that cannot be explained. My investigations have taken me beyond the bounds of man's normal beliefs. I have seen sights both bizarre and unbelievable. I tell you, gentlemen, I have seen them.
Are you saying that you believe in black magic and witchery and the occult?
I do, my friends, and if you do not heed my words, your daughter's life may be the price you pay for your lack of understanding.
I will listen to him, gentlemen. He's actually quite brilliant.
Eleanor, hello.
Robert, dear, it's been too long. Is this where I go and get to drunk?
Ah, Eleanor, I was beginning to worry. You made it. Did you encounter any difficulties?
Do I ever?
Most of the times, yes.
Well, I suppose I should explain. But first, still 3 rings for Mrs. Robinson?
Yes. May I introduce Mr. Jonathan Harker? He is Mina's fiancé. And his friend Philip Appleby, our dear Lucy's cousin.
It's a pleasure, gentlemen.
Eleanor, the professor, and I all worked together at the university years ago.
Well, not that many years ago, Robert. But it's true. We did all become quite recent.
Yeah, some of us became more inseparable than others.
Well, yes, that's a story for another time.
Now, Professor, now is as good a time for a story as any. That last part sounded intriguing.
Yes, Eleanor. Why don't you tell us about your difficulties? I'm sure this will be much more interesting.
And more pertinent to the situation at hand, I should think.
Very well.
Yes, quite. But before we begin, Mrs. Van Helsing, what would you prepare to
I would love one thanking Scotch meat, please. And it's Dr. Van Helsing.
Apologies, Dr.
Not a problem. Well, I've been traveling all day to get here. After completing that errand to Master the Ogre.
Must be a success.
Oh yes, right when you said it would be.
This errand have anything to do with me, then? How to cure her?
Well, it may very well, but go on, Eleanor. We'll talk about this a little later.
Well, I was about 4 miles from here when I heard screams that sounded like a child. So I dismounted my horse and I ran towards the sound, only to be flung to the ground by a dark figure. It was carrying a girl.
Word, you must have been frightened. Were you injured?
Well, I wasn't frightened, but the only thing that was injured was my pride. I pulled my revolver and I shot at it. I must have hit it because it howled and sped away. So it seems, darling, as if you were backwards.
What places does she mean, Professor? How could this be about me now?
Gentlemen, please, I must ask you to listen with an open mind. Please sit down. You have all heard the legends from Central Europe, the werewolves and vampires.
You mean things that suck the life and blood of the living?
I do not call them things. They are the undead.
Do you mean to say, Professor, that first cousin Lucy and now Miss Mina are victims of some sort of medieval mysticism? Poppycock.
I'm afraid I have to agree with Philip on this one, my old friend. I mean, I knew the Middle Ages were full of peasant stories and folk tales and such things, but I cannot believe a learned man such as yourself would believe.
In such things? But I do believe. I know the world of science scoffs at such things. Your academics would have you believe that these are stories to control the favored children, or perhaps to increase the Sunday attendance. But the strength of the vampire is the very fact that people will not believe in him.
Or her?
Yes, of course, or her. But I tell you, gentlemen, there are such things. Some of us have evidence they exist.
All right, Professor, let's entertain this idea. Let's just say, for a moment, we're dealing with a vampire here. And we prove it.
Why do you think we came so quickly?
It was Mrs. Robertson's account of Lucy's. And Dr. Seward suspecting anemia. You said it yourself, Robert. You administered countless transfusions to this poor young girl, and yet she died of blood loss. She had no wounds, except for small bites around her arms and neck. There was no blood-soaked bedding, so where did the blood go?
Yes, the small dots with white centers. That is the mark of the vampire. You see, the vampire draws the blood from its victim over time, and with each passing attack, the poor soul becomes more in their power.
They don't just take her away from here.
She may not be willing to go.
They don't force her.
No, no, my boy, to do that may kill her. The shock would be too great. You see, the vampire has a strong link with their victim in life and in death. I warn you, the vampire is the personification of evil. It kills not only to survive, but it enjoys the pain and terror it inflicts.
So from the sound of it, Professor, it seems
there is no doubt.
Then how do we kill it?
Stake through the heart or decapitation. But only during the day. At night, nothing can stop it.
Did you say you shot him?
Yes. You can slow it down with silver, maybe even hurt it a little, but at night?
Nothing can stop it. You see, the vampire must lie dormant in its coffin during the day. It must lie buried in the earth that it was buried in. That is when we will destroy him.
You rang for me after. Oh, actually, it was I that rang for you, Dolores.
Well, Mrs. Eleanor, when did you arrive? I didn't see.
I let myself endure, and how many times have I told you? Please, call me Eleanor.
That wouldn't be proper, ma'am.
Well, when have you ever known me to be proper?
Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Eleanor.
Well, that's a little better. You don't have to work on it. Now, as I was writing here, I remembered something. Do you still have this amazing garlic punch up there?
Lots of lovely clothes.
Wonderful. Come with me, Dolores. We're going to go and do some pruning. Thank you. I have a feeling we're going to need a lot before this is over.
That lunatic Renfield reacted to the garden.
Do you suspect Renfield, Professor?
I suspect everyone at the moment, Mr. Harker. So tell me, what can you tell me about this Count Dracula?
If I may, Professor, I know that he doesn't speak English very well.
Yes, he moved into Carpet about 2 months ago, but Jonathan knows him better than I. His firm's handling the rental of the Abbey.
I don't actually know him all that well. We only communicate through letters after the transaction. I've only ever met him for the very first time here in this room.
The Abbey? The Abbey's a very strange place for a count to reside. The place is barely standing. Has he moved in permanently?
You know, it's certain he's just on a 6-month holiday, and that the Abbey might come home. Who am I to judge?
You know, Dracula is a very famous name in that part of the world. His ancestor, Vlad the Impaler, that's quite famous. But still, the vampire must lie in the dirt of its homeland. So I do not think it could be our Count.
Sledging? What now?
He's at Renfield. He's escaping.
How this time?
Out the window, sir. You know it's a drop of 50 feet to the ground from there. I don't know how she does it, sir. Unless she fly.
Well, find her, man, and don't sound the alarm. We don't want to rile the other patients.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Perhaps they can help. I'd very much like to speak to this Renfield.
Miss, the doctor ordered that you should stay in your room, and that I should stay with you. I'm too honest, mister. I just could not stand to stay in that stuffy room for much longer. Besides, it's safe here. The count is in the library next door, and I really am feeling much better. If you ask me, miss, and if you don't mind me saying so, I would stay away from that count. There's something unnatural about him. He'll only bring you pain.
No one did ask you, Miss Finster. And it would be best for you to remember your place.
Yes, miss. Sorry, miss.
Open the window, it's warm. And then ask the Count to come and join me here.
But miss,
Obey me.
Miss Finster. But you're dead. And the knife. Yes, my sister, but not dead. Undead. I will live forever and serve him. He who gave me this wonderful gift of eternal life. No, but this can't be real. But it is! My sister, and how lucky you are that the Master has chosen you to join us. Join me. I will die first. That, dear Mina, is a matter of course. You must die, but then you will be reborn to the night. Oh, what wonderful adventures we and my children will have. Children? How rude of me. Children, you can come out now. Children, this is your Auntie Mina. She will be joining us soon. Till then, dear Nina.
The patient is feeling better. I see.
Oh, you idiot!
I'm sorry, miss. That Looney's escaped again. Have you seen her?
Of course not. And I doubt she'd be hiding here. You know, you better keep an eye on your loonies, or you'll be looking for a new job.
It's not my fault. See, I hear a noise like a wolf's howl. So I run to her cell, and just as I get there, I see her feet disappearing out the window. She's not human, that one. Here. There you go.
Miss Mina asks for the evening paper. Have you found it yet?
Ow! No, I haven't. This job's starting to get on my nerves.
Goodness. What about mine? The loonies are always getting out. Everybody's getting their blood drained from Miss Mina. The place stinks of garlic, and now you're telling me that Renfield is crawling down the walls like a big bat.
Funny you should mention bats. Just as I go to grab Renfield's feet, this giant bat flies up and hits me square in the face.
You're getting daftier than your patients you are.
It's true, miss. If I don't get her back in the cell, I'll be out of a job. She's wacko, that one. She's always been harmless. At least it's
Wouldn't hurt a fly, huh?
bad. Ooh, shouldn't hurt a fly. She would just rather eat that than a four-course meal. We should see what she does with spiders and sparrows.
Well, you better find out, or they'll be locking you up next.
Don't worry, miss. Long drop to the ground from that window on the sides. with me around. So, you ever get lonely here all by yourself? Or maybe on your night off, if you have to go walking alone in the moonlight, maybe you'd like an escort, that is. On your night off, I mean.
I wouldn't go walking with you in that uniform. People would think I'm one of your loonies.
What if I cheat?
You don't waste any time, do you?
Why are you lucky?
Oof! Buzz off! You better keep your eyes on your patients and not on me.
Go on, Hubert. We know.
Here. Who are you talking to now?
Hey, rat, Hubert!
Ew! Put him away! Stop! Stop it! Put him away! Stop!
Hello, Hubert. Some people have no sense of humour.
What is all the yelling about?
I'm sorry, ma'am. It's Smedgley with that animal.
What animal?
A huge rat, ma'am.
Okay, well, you mustn't scream like that because it's Mina. She's trying to rest. And it's bad enough you showed her that article about the Hampstead horrors and the woman in white that attacked children. Now get a hold of yourself.
Oh!
Forgive me, madame. I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely.
No. That's all right. I wasn't expecting anybody out there.
I was enjoying the night air. The night is so lovely, don't you think?
You say so.
And how is Miss Mina tonight?
I think she's feeling better, sir.
That is good. But you look a little pale.